Hey guys, Joseph Alone here. I'm actually doing this video for a second time. I had recorded it last night. It's day 22 of the Speak Right Now 30-day video challenge. Um, Last night's video, the audio cut in and out a little bit. It wasn't the greatest quality, so I'm re-recording it right now. And today, I'm answering some questions from my friends and friends on Facebook. They shot me some messages saying, asking me some questions about leadership, some personal development stuff. So I just want to answer it, let you know what I think about these type of questions. So my first question comes from Rick Thule. Great friend. We go out to coffee quite a bit. Just love the guy to death. So he asks, what is your BHAG? And BHAG stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. And that comes from Jim Collins, I believe, in Good to Great. And it's kind of like, what's this big, big thing that you're working for? And for me, it's going to be my book, Real Leadership. In that book, I'm sharing leadership lessons from the movies. And, for me, it's my big, hairy, audacious goal because it's overwhelming to me. I'm shooting for 25,000 words. I'm about halfway there. And it just scares me. So that's my BHAG, Rick. Now, next we've got Dan. Dan says, what do I consider to be my biggest failure and what have I learned from it? I'm sorry, Dan. I'm going to turn this around just a little bit. I'm going to do my most recent failure, which I've already shared on one of these videos. And that was failing my motorcycle endorsement test. The driving portion of it, or riding portion of it. And, I want to share it with you because while it may not be my biggest failure, it's fresh in my mind. And it illustrates a very important part, or a very important point. So, I was, for the motorcycle training, we had 10, 12 hours worth of riding in. And throughout all that time, I hadn't fallen. I was, doing great, felt very comfortable, and then, boom, part 5 of the test comes in, and I, lay the bike down. It sucked. But, what that taught me was, little things matter. So, doing a right turn on a bike, that was very easy throughout the course of the training. But it was something simple and easy like that right turn that made me not get my motorcycle endorsement. So, just keep that in mind as you're leading. Little things matter. They're going to trip you up and take you down if you're not careful and pay attention to those things. And third question comes from Jeff Eikenberry. You've seen him on the video a couple days ago. He shared one of his greatest successes, which was actually, overcoming failures and still keeping on. So Jeff said, I want to hear about successes. What overarching principles have helped you and Pam have such a successful marriage? Well, for those of you that don't know, Pam is my wife, and we've been married for 12 and a half years. We got married fairly young. We were 21, 22, somewhere in there. And, I appreciate you, Jeff, and thanks for saying that it looks like a successful marriage to you. Like everything, there's struggles. But, so what's helped Pam and I have this successful marriage? Number one, we try and respect each other. We don't scream and yell at each other. We don't raise our voices in the house. We try and create a peaceful environment for us to live in. So that's the first thing. Probably the second thing, I'll be honest. The first thing is that, we place God first in our marriage. We know He's the creator and maker of all things. And we have Him to answer to. So we try and live a good life, do things right, love each other, and do what the Bible says. And, all of those things can work together to create a great marriage. And the last question comes from my boy, Ivan. We met at Catalyst. He's just awesome. He's from Costa Rica. So, sorry about that, Ivan. I know you're from Costa Rica, not Cozumel. And, I mentioned that we met Ivan at Catalyst. So, before we go to Ivan's question, if you don't know who Paul Sohn is, Paul Sohn's a great guy. He's very into millennials, teaching them and guiding them and leading them. And him and we've met up at Catalyst as well. We've done meetups, blogger meetups the last couple of years. This year we're switching it up and doing a influencer meetup at Catalyst. Atlanta, on October 5th from 5 to 7 p.m. And if you're in the area, would love to have you there. And if you can't make it to that, I'll be there from October 1st through the 6th. So I'd love to meet up with you there as well. If you can't make the blogger meetup, hit me up, let me know. I'd love to meet you and just hang out for a little bit. Anyway, let's get to Ivan's question. Ivan says, I want to hear about challenge. What was your biggest challenge when starting to write? Are you still struggling with it? Oh man, my biggest challenge. I would have to say it's what people call the imposter syndrome. I started writing, it was probably a month or two before I actually ever shared with Facebook or Twitter what I was doing. I was scared to death. I was like, why is anybody going to read what I'm going to write? Why is anybody going to take me seriously? I'm just Joe from Muskegon. Like, nobody really knows me. Nobody cares. But, I've slowly come out of that. Like I said, about 2 months into it, I probably started sharing my blog posts with people on social media. And, just overcoming that fear of who wants to listen to me. I'm just a nobody. That's what it feels like. And that might be what it feels like to you when you're starting out to write. But, I'm now almost, I think, 1,200 posts. And, it's been great. So, once you begin to realize that, you have something to say, people want to listen to you, you're going to start changing how you do things. So that's what I want to say my biggest challenge was. Do I still struggle with it, Ivan? Of course I do. While I love writing and I love sharing what I know about leadership, I still get that imposter syndrome feeling of who am I, why am I doing this, and why is anybody really listening to me? But, it's true, you can do it, and you do have something to say. So that's my encouragement to you, Ivan. If you're struggling with, that imposter syndrome and you think nobody's going to listen to you, you're probably wrong. People are going to flock to you and want to hear what you're saying. Well, that's it for today. I'll catch you all tomorrow.